Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. Today is Friday, so you know what that means. It's another hashtag Friday Sews Day. If you want to know what I've been up to this week, then stay tuned. First of all, I'd like to thank Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting the hashtag Friday Sews. If you're not already aware of it, go and put Friday Sews in the search bar on YouTube and you will see all kinds of sewing YouTubers come up that are telling you a little bit about what they've been working on, what they have coming up, and a little bit about life. So let's just jump into it. All right, so what have I been working on this week? So I was productive this week compared to how I've been since I moved into the new place. As you'll see, I'm in a new location. I am filming this early Friday morning before I start work, so I just thought I'd be comfortable on my couch. Anyway, all right, so I finished the toiles of my, well, I had already finished my toile of the cielo top when I talked to you last time, but I hadn't finished the poppy pant toile. So I finished that Friday evening, and then Saturday I had a marathon day where I made my whole outfit for my collaboration with Andra. If you didn't see that, I will link it up here and you can go and check that out. But basically we both made a faux jumpsuit based on the same inspiration photo. So I'd love it if you go check both of ours out. I will link Andra's video in the description box as well. I completely blanked when I was filming that video, and I completely forgot to tell you guys about the final fabric that I used. So I'll do that now. I had linked it in the description box in that video, but I didn't talk about it at all. Okay, so here's the fabric. Sorry, these are my wrinkly pants. I've already worn my outfit. I bought this from Spoonflower. It is a Katie Cortman fabric design, and it's called Rainbow Stripes. So pretty. And I bought it in the cotton sateen fabrication. If you're not familiar with Spoonflower, the way that it works, there are tons of, I think they're called surface designers or something like that, but basically people who design patterns that can be used on different surfaces. At Spoonflower, you can get it on fabric, you can get it on wallpaper. I'm not sure what else you can get it on, but any pattern that you see on there, there are lots of different ways to have it printed because they print it based on your order. It's not just sitting in a warehouse waiting for you to buy it. So they have, I don't know how many different fabrications, but I've bought 4 of their fabrications. If you'd like to see a review on like if you'd like to see me compare the 4 fabrications, let me know. But this is the cotton sateen. This is the first time that I've bought this. And it doesn't have, I don't know, I guess in certain lights it has a little bit of a shine to it, or a sheen, I guess, but not really. I mean, it's kind of a matte. So the first fabrication that I bought from them, I bought several times because it's the least expensive, and Spoonflower is pricey. So I had bought I think they call it the Premier Cotton, which is really just a heavy weight quilting cotton. And I made a couple of dresses from it. Those dresses I love. The style of dress that I used that fabric for worked. I do have one shirt that I made out of that fabric that doesn't really work. It's really super stiff. It's got puffy sleeves and it didn't work for that style, but for the dresses it did. So I do like the Premier Cotton, but this is just more, it's drapier than the Premier Cotton. This is a lighter weight, and I like it. So I do recommend the cotton sateen. I did get it on sale. There was a 20% off coupon, and I knew I needed 4 yards for this outfit. So the coupon came in very handy. I spent $92 with my 20% off on the 4 yards of this fabric. So I forget what it would have been before. I can do the math and tell you at the bottom, but so I used almost my entire month of February's budget of $100 on this fabric. But I don't regret it at all. I have an outfit that I love and fabric that I love, and that is what I'm gonna be doing from now on. I'm gonna be spending my money on fabric that excites me. If I can afford it, great. If I can't, then maybe I will hold off until it goes on sale. But I'm not buying fabric just because it's on sale if it doesn't excite me. So that's the story on that fabric. I will link it below in case you're interested. Then what else did I work on? I am 99% finished with my Dress a Girl dress for February, and I will post a video for that on Sunday. I think at one point I had mentioned that one of my goals this year, I have in my sewing room, I have a closet, which I love, but I've got hanging in there all of the me-made clothes that I love, but that don't quite fit right. And so they need a little bit of tweaking. So my goal, and so that I'm not overwhelmed by the pile of things that need to be tweaked, I'm targeting one a month to just go in and tweak and get one out of the rotation. Not really a rotation. Hopefully I'm not adding to it. Now that I'm doing muslins, hopefully there won't be additions to that selection. Anyway, my Callie dress in the tie-dyed linen fabric that I made back in September of last year, I love this dress so much. I love the buttons that I put on it. Oh my gosh. But it's just really big. So I had attempted to put like a strip of elastic in the back to kind of cinch it in. That I didn't do it right because it didn't make a hill of beans difference. So what I worked on this week was, so far, I've unpicked that elastic. And I think this weekend, I'm gonna spend some time figuring out what to do. I don't know if I'm just gonna unpick the whole side seam and skinny it up, or if I'm just gonna take it in a little bit in the middle. Or one of my options is to add waist ties. The only problem with that is I don't have any of this fabric left. But I could dye something in one of the colors and do it that way. That could be pretty, and just have like maybe an orchid color tie. I might like that. I like the waist tie idea. What would you do? Maybe I'll insert a picture here or a little twirl of me wearing it so you can see how it fits and see how like it's really too oversized for me. And tell me what you would do if it was yours. And then the last thing that I finished this week was and it wasn't the last thing, these aren't actually in order. I did my husband's ice-dyed shower curtain. And I will have a video on that coming up, but I had some struggles with that. And I honestly don't even know why, because it is the exact same shower curtain that I did for my own bathroom. So I'll have all that in one video coming up hopefully next week. So that's everything I completed this week. So what do I have coming up? I have so many ideas bursting out of my head that like I have to write them down. And I won't make all of them, but I get excited about something and I write it down, and then I get excited about something else and I move on. But my most current project that popped into my head this week that I'm excited about is I'm gonna pop in a picture here of the pattern. It's the Style Arc Blair shirt. There's a shirt and a dress, but I'm gonna make the shirt version. I had bought this pattern when I first started sewing again back in March of 2020. I bought it sometime soon after that, and I bought it off Amazon. So I bought the printed version, and I bought the wrong size because it was, the size that it went up to was bigger than my ready-to-wear size, and I was not educated enough yet to know to look at the measurements. So I had made one, it didn't fit. I made the biggest size in the pattern I had, and I could get it on, but it definitely didn't fit. So I got the bigger size from one of my lovely followers here. We're friends on YouTube, we're friends on Instagram, and I believe she pronounces it Dochi, but I could be wrong. She is super sweet, and she sent me, she had the pattern in the right size, and she sent it to me because it's a style that she wasn't gonna make. So I was super grateful for that. And so I wanna make that up. And you guys are gonna laugh at me, but my vision is like a half and half. So one fabric on one side and another fabric on the other. And this will shock you because there's no color in it. but I'm gonna do these two side by side. I'm gonna do these two side by side. What do you think? And of course, I'm gonna test it first, but my thoughts are I want to ice dye the white portion. So the black won't take dye. So I'm gonna test some pieces first to make sure that it takes, because my goal is to not dye it until the shirt is made. I don't want to dye the whole piece of fabric because I'm gonna have a lot left over because I have a lot of yardage of both of these actually. So I don't want to dye the whole piece of fabric. So I'm going to wait and dye it after I make the shirt. So I want to make sure that it takes the way that I want it to. So I'm going to test both pieces first. I believe they are both a high percentage of cotton, but I'm not 100% certain. So I will test those to see how they take the dye. But that's the current project that I am most excited about. I do have a couple of my So Frugal ideas that I'm excited about. If you didn't see my So Frugal video, I will link that here. But I can't start on those until March 1st. So I gotta have something to do until March. So that's really the only thing I have on my to-do list, because that I think is gonna be a pretty big project, because I am gonna toile it first. So I gotta find some inexpensive fabric in my stash. I think I might still have some sheets left from my last thrifting excursion. But if not, that's my segue into life. I have a thrifting excursion planned tomorrow with my friend Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and I'm super excited about it. We have a ton of thrift stores here in Fort Myers, and there's a Goodwill like almost immediately across the street from me. And so basically what I did was I looked through all the thrift shops in the area, and I wrote down a list of 7 of them, and I mapped them out on Google Maps so that we have the most efficient route, and we're gonna go thrifting tomorrow. I don't know if we'll hit all 7 because that sounds like a lot. Jen doesn't seem to think it sounds like too much, so we'll see. But yeah, my goal is to stock up on really inexpensive sheets. Hopefully some cute patterns and things that if I decide to do more than just the fit part of the muslin, if I decide to make it a wearable muslin, then, you know, hopefully I'll find some cute sheets. But I'm also okay with finding just plain basic sheets that I use just for the fit portion of the muslin. So yeah, I think for this top though, I do want to make the whole thing, because there's some really intricate like sections. So there's like the hem of this shirt kind of has like a scoop hem on the sides, but then there's some pieces that come out and peek out from underneath. There's a button placket, which I've done plenty of button plackets now, so I feel comfortable with that. Buttonholes don't scare me. My machine does pretty good buttonholes. I think out of all the things I've done buttonholes on in the last 6 months, I've only had one single buttonhole act up on me that I had to pick out and redo. So buttonholes don't scare me. So I think that this is gonna be fun. I've done a few collars at this point, so the collar doesn't scare me either. And I think it's gonna be really cute. Yeah, so that's like, yeah, so that's what I'm working on. That's life. This week's prompt. So Jen always gives us a prompted question to add, if we want to, into our Friday Sews video. And this week's prompt is, who is your favorite fashion, craft, or pattern designer to sew? Well, I had a look through my Trello account, and I can filter. I've added I think I've told you before, you can add labels to every one of the things that you put in Trello. And so I've gone through and I've added like brand, you know, designer brand. I've added whether it's knit or woven, if it's long sleeve or short sleeve, if it's a shirt or a dress, or a shirt and a dress. I've added whether or not I have already printed the pattern or had it printed. And then just recently I went through and started adding whether or not I've made it. And I'm not completely finished with that yet, but I discovered last night that when you filter, you can filter on any combination of those labels, And there's two different ways to filter. One, you can filter on any combination and it will pull up anything that has any of those. Or you can pull up a filter that's exact, which means it will only filter on things that have, like, let's say that I filtered on Style Arc and Made. It will pull up everything that is Style Arc and Made. If I did the other filter version, the first one where it did everything, it would pull up all my Style Arc patterns and it would pull up all my Made patterns. But if you do the exact, I can tell you exactly what I made from Style Arc. So I'm not quite finished filling in the Made, but I can tell you as I was scrolling through the pictures, Style Arc is definitely the one that I have made the most patterns from. And I love their styling. It just really suits me. They're right out of the gate, they don't always fit me. I do have to make some adjustments, but now that I've been sewing a little while longer, the sparse instructions don't bother me. And I rarely ever run into trouble where I don't understand what they're telling me to do. And if I do, typically there's somebody on YouTube that's done something that kind of helps walk me through it. But I haven't had to do that too much these days. So I would have to say Style Arc. Yeah, I would love to know who is your favorite pattern designer? Do you like the big four? If so, is there one in particular? If I were to go big four, if they made things that, you know, fit me, I love a lot of the Vogue patterns. I think they're really cool and interesting looking. But if not, then if you like indie designers, who's your favorite? I'd love to know, and I'd love to know why. This week's shout out, I'm doing a YouTube sewing shout out every week. And this one is brand new to me. She commented on one of my videos. I think it might have been my So Frugal video this week. So I've only watched a couple of her videos, but she's fairly new. I went and looked at her channel and she's only got videos for about 2 months now. But her name is Angela and her channel is called Just Me and My Fabric, which I thought was a really fun channel name. And I just like her personality. I've watched a couple of her videos. I think that she's from what I saw on the videos that I haven't watched yet, it looks like she shares good content. I like hauls. I like pattern reviews. I don't watch a lot of sew-alongs unless it's a pattern that I'm struggling with. So I don't know if she had a sew-along or not, but that's not something that I look for in a channel. But I do like pattern reviews. I like fabric hauls. I like pattern hauls. And I am drawn to people's personalities and I like her personality. So I would love it if you'd go and check her out and let me know what you think. I will put her channel in the description box. So if you liked this Friday Sews, then you might like the playlist and go through and see what else I've been up to in the past. Wherever you are, I hope the weather's amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.